We're live, guys, I think. Crazy weekend. A lot of news to cover. Might be tough with an hour, but cheaters coming out to the light, action being oversold, bracelets being won, seniors making deep runs in the seniors event, and proposals on the floor, marriage proposals. What's going on, Ryan?
Nothing, man. Nice to have the weekend off, but not really, because I miss you guys and I miss doing the show. I don't know why we take these breaks. Huh? No more breaks. Infinity going on as Will. I almost called you Dan because I was reading about Dan Heimiller. Infinity going on. Winners to recap. I don't know where you want to start. You're the dictator. I'm the
dictator?
I'm the.
That's pretty strong. Well, since I'm the dictator, I'll be Mao. I'll be Stalin or whoever. Let's start with no other place than Sweet Lou Garza winning the 10K PLO, my main event, which I lasted a few hours in. Wins the bracelet. I got to do final table commentary on this one, and let me just tell you, if you think Ali Najad sounds cool or funny, watching these coverages, being in the booth with him was a completely different experience. I took 2 dumps beforehand just to get my nerves right, and it did not really matter. It was an incredible experience, but also just this guy came in as the short stack, wearing a jean vest with no shirt underneath, ice out the wazoo, Jesus piece earrings, ships the bracelet for $1.3 million. Afterwards, we didn't even get this on the coverage. Proposes to his girl who was on the rail the whole time. Obviously, she says yes. Did not have a ring, so just gave her the bracelet, which is a pretty epic story.
Swagged out Sweet Lou. You did great in commentary, by the way. You had never done commentary with Ali?
No, I'd never done commentary with Ali, and I was nervous because, it's usually Nick Schulman doing it. So I was like, I'm going to, obviously be way worse than him. But Ali is so good. It's hard to describe how natural his talent is. Like, it feels like he always knows whether it's like time for a strategy question, time for a sick joke. And it was just really something to behold. But also, we ran really well with Sweet Lou winning.
Yeah. You were great, though, and everything from when he was heads up with Morris. I was rooting against both of those guys. Again, if you haven't watched the 10K PLO final table coverage, it was very interesting. I hated both of them, honestly. I disliked both of them, but there you see it.
You disliked Sweet Lou and Arthur Morris?
Yeah, Arthur Morris was giving me really Mizregi kind of crybaby vibes. Sweet Lou was giving me Miami drug dealer vibes. There was all the vibes in the world. The drip lord, as you called him. And heads up, Ali asked you, who do you think is going to take it? And you said, my heart says Sweet Lou, but my head says Morris. But, sometimes you just got to savage it out with the drip. Congratulations to him. He played like shit a lot of spots, right?
I actually thought he played very well.
I'm sorry. I don't know PLO well enough, but I take that back.
It's PLO tournaments are a very different game. I thought him and Arthur Morris played really well. And I also, what I liked is I feel like they're very polarizing. Even Morris is way more polarizing than your average, I don't want to get myself in trouble, but dusty, withered rag. He was aggressively slamming chips, they were going back and forth. Every second you'd hear him on his rail saying, I hope this guy busts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was great to watch.
It was really entertaining. Out of the thousands of people that said nice things, it was your text saying Joey DeMush confirmed that I was a good PLO player that really sent me over the top. But while we're here, guys, remember to do something extremely easy as breaking up with your partner or buying drugs on the strip. Just tap the like button and then also share and subscribe. We've got a lot of stuff going on here, Ryan. It's really heating up. Day 3 of the Millionaire Maker. Obviously, you're not in it. What happened?
I don't know. I kind of bluffed with middle pair when I shouldn't. When the guy checked, I don't know if I was.
Wait, was it a bluff or?
No, it was a value bet on King 10-4. He check raised and I just jammed with Ace 10 and he had King 10.
It was classic bust out hand for DePaulo. Wasn't expecting that one. Who could have seen that coming? But we are here, day 3 of the Millionaire Maker, down to 200 players. Such a good event to go deep in and have chips in. Joey Wiseman has a pile. Tony Gregg, legend, has a pile. Leo Margetts, a lot of big names. Yara C. Earl, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, Circuit Reg. And then we also have the seniors final table going down right next door with a complete legend. I mean, this guy's markup in the seniors event has to be like at least 6.0 or higher. Dan Heimiller, Natalie caught him on a previous episode eating McDonald's on the floor.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
Oh, and you called him a legend, and I didn't know.
Yeah,
Come to find out, he's 79th all-time money list, over $6 million in tournament earnings. You call every hobo we see a legend. I didn't believe you at the time. Turns out the guy is a legend.
A little bit of a boy cried wolf situation for me. I do call a lot of people legends.
They're all legends or potential Euros.
So this guy is like, he's legitimately like a very good tournament player. And, you know, no offense to the seniors field, no offense to Skullman, but obviously has a massive ROI in this field. I think he's final table. He might have won it before, but this is the type of guy that, like, when I was playing online tournaments in like 2008, he was like a good reg. You know what I mean? Like winning.
Well, 2008 is when he says he's going to update his website. I don't know if we have Dan Heimiller. I was Googling
Let's not
him.
start with the website. Let's start with this
sorry.
hand, Producer John. I want to show you this epic hand that he played in the seniors. He's down at the final 7 now with the nice chip lead. This is what led to it. Producer John, if you could cue this hand.
Ace King for Fesh.
Wow.
What are these hands?
This is absurd. I feel like every single hand is a major clash. Oh, wow, he just flats. I mean, this might draw Fahey into the hand. Donnie, how do you
I can't
feel?
believe he's just flatting.
How do you feel about Fetch just calling here? And Fahey, rightly so, gets away from her ace-jack of hearts. I mean, we could have been looking at a 43 million chip pot here. Oh, my God. 7-3 queen. Heimiller's queen's well ahead. Fetch not willing to risk it all, and judging by this flop, it's a very good decision. Of course, Heimiller cannot afford to give any free cards at this point.
That is 4 million.
Oh, wow. 4 million chip bet and a quick call. Fetch looking for an ace or a king. Turn card, 8 of clubs. Heimiller's hand getting that much stronger.
I mean, if Fesh is willing to call on the flop, the board pairing there doesn't really change the dynamics of this board, so I expect he's going to put more money in. I did not expect him to lead, but here we go.
Wow. Donnie, if you're Dan Heimiller, what do you think your opponent can have here? If you're Heimiller here, Donnie, your only option really is to call, right?
Make it 13 million.
Wow, he
There
makes
it
it
is.
13 million.
All in. His block.
Oh my God, Fetch moves all in. Heimiller
What
snaps
is
it off.
happening?
Is this the craziest hand of the entire summer?
Oh my gosh, and Heimiller has to fade an ace or a king here on the river. More than 50 million in the pot.
Fetch has 6 outs to bust Dan Heimiller. And Shannon Fahey is scratching her head. Let's see the river card. I'm nervous for Dan Heimiller. It's a queen. Dan Heimiller with an enormous double up. What did we just witness?
I have no idea what I just saw go down, but Dan Heimiller is going to collect a massive pot.
I mean, incredible hand. It's also funny because Remco with the advanced strategy says all he can do is call here. Raises, gets shipped on. I mean, this is the type of like street poker that you got to play in these events. You cannot play GTO. You got to induce. Love it from Lenny, the legend. Snaps it off. Just incredible.
You know, old people very bad at playing ace-king, whether they just turn it into a bluff or they just fold it pre-flop because they don't want to flip, quote-unquote. Notoriously bad. But Heimiller with the queen, that's insane, dude. I didn't see that hand.
Yeah, and the other guy with a DePaulo level punt. Luckily, DePaulo only does those early in tournaments. He usually doesn't get deep enough. But punting in an ICM spot like that, I mean, the guy probably owns like a yacht club or something, so he'll be fine. Shout out to Nazwhip in chat who said that hand was not very impressive at all. I would like you to know on behalf of all of our viewers, Nazwhip, I don't think you're very impressive as all. You don't even have an avatar.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if Producer John can actually ban you permanently.
Yeah.
But that's not important. We don't hold any grudges against the chat here. Shout out to Pop Tart in chat for saying Jaffe makes him squeal like a pig. Really, really appreciate that one. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, a reference to laughter or potentially something more nefarious. But We are here. Just a lot of stuff going on. Dan Heimiller now leading the seniors final table behind us. We'll get you some coverage. That starts on YouTube at 2. I believe Donnie and Remco are going to be on that one with some advanced strategy, as you see. It's tough to know what these guys are going to do. I mean, you've played with plenty of seniors out here.
Yeah, and they're great. Usually you want them. Dan Heimiller played that hand perfectly. You know what I mean? You guys saying not impressed. We're like we said, it's not a personal vendetta. If you're not impressed, we will come and get you. We will find you. And, yeah, sometimes all you got to do is catch punts. That's what these big fields are about, punt distribution, catching, right? You get jealous. Well, also you get upset and want to die.
You have to catch. That does happen a lot. But you have to catch the punt. You have to also induce the punt out here. And you see Dan Heimiller, Remco saying your only option is call. You can always induce punts from these players. Sometimes they get tired of your aggression. A lot of players just don't like if you raise a lot, in these type of fields. Speaking of raising a lot, I do want to show you, we had some big news over the weekend. Sort of one of the biggest cheaters in poker, Ali Imsirovic, came out of hiding to sort of clear the air, I guess, on YouTube in a 30-minute video. I'm just going to show you the beginning of that video. Producer John, if you can cut to that.
Hey guys, Ollie here. I want to finally make a video and address all the cheating allegations, to speak out about what is actually true. All right, let's start right around the beginning of 2020. When COVID hit, there was insane high-stakes action online. We were all playing like a ridiculous amount of buy-ins every day, and I ended up making a really bad mistake, and began multi-accounting MTTs at that time. I did this for about 4 to 5 months before I stopped, and I had originally started doing this because I knew there was a lot of shady shit happening in those games. I knew there were people card sharing and multiing and working as teams, things like that. So originally I was just trying to fight against that so I could keep playing in those kind of games. It doesn't excuse what I did. There were plenty of guys in those pools that were playing good, honest poker, and they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve me multi-accounting. I'm especially sorry to those people, the David Peters, Ike Haxton, Nick Petrangelos of the world. Like, I'm 100% sure they were playing about as legit as possible. I began feeling really bad about what I was doing, and I just stopped multiing after those 4 to 5 months. And then for the next 2 months of online poker, I wasn't multi-accounting. I was just playing normal, honest poker. Then in August,
Yeah, he goes on to talk a lot of nonsense for the next 27 minutes, but we're going to get back to that. We've got Mintzy live with Eric Lindgren. I believe he's still in the final 200 of this Millionaire Maker.
Oh, they're back from break. I think we missed our window. Ali cheating not only the poker community, but you out of a live interview with his ramblings. But we're going to talk about that quite a bit. We just wanted to get out to a live interview update. All right, I think we'll get to Mintzy.
All right. Day 3 of the World Series of Poker Millionaire Maker. We're back here in Vegas. All right. Where?
All right, players, welcome back to the Millionaire Maker.
All right.
We are on level number 24. Lines are 20,000, 40,000, 40,000. Big blind Annie, 20,
All right.
40.
All right, go ahead. We're live. All right, day 3 of the World Series of Poker Millionaire Maker. I'm back in Vegas, and I'm feeling 100% and did not make any mistakes this weekend on the mountain. Joined by Eric Lindgren. Got 20 big blinds, 207 people left away from $1 million. Hell, man, run this up.
I know. Let's go. Maybe I need a little something you had on that mountain, Mintzy.
I'm feeling definitely recharged today. You out here playing a big summer?
Yeah, took a week off back and playing until the end. I'm excited, man. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, man. You look like fresh and recharged. Look, Eric Lindgren, legend from back in the day, but still hasn't actually met him in Cherokee, North Carolina recently. Playing a big summer. You've had a ton of success in the past. You kind of recharge for poker these days?
Yeah. I'd like to see you at the table, man.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, I would too. That's for sure. Well, Eric's got to get back to it. 20 big bonds, run it up. Good luck to you.
All right, peace.
Eric also calls me if there's a Louisiana Gavin Smith. Apparently, I'm him.
I guess that's back to us. I mean, huge weekend for Mintzy and Reg Rocks. You can kind of see the collateral damage there, but E-Dog, Eric Lindgren, deep in this Millionaire Maker. But, yeah, so we got to talk about this Ali video because a lot of cheating allegations came out. A lot of money was publicly confiscated from his account. Doesn't say anything at the time. Kind of just like, disappears into the ether. Now comes out with this video. We showed you guys the first minute. That's the entire apology, as far as I remember. Basically, he goes on to talk about how there's all these other things, specific things that he didn't do. DePaulo actually gets mentioned in the video because one of his horses was at DePaulo's house, and like on that day, Ollie was playing at PokerGo Studio or something, so he couldn't have cheated. Then, at the end of the 20-minute video, pops in to say, and then after the last WSOP, I was so emotionally affected that I multi-accounted again.
Had a little relapse there. Yeah, no, basically the accountability ends after the first minute or so with the admitting to multi-accounting. The timeline of this was that this was like during COVID. Then it was 2 years later maybe that Alex Foxen tweeted out the photo of what looked like Ali looking at Paul Pua's hole cards and then like using that removal to play the hand very weird against Michael Adamo. And then people started being like, all right, enough is enough, and then this whole wave of high stakes regs who have heard the rumors that Ali's been cheating for a while started piling on, and that's when it became like an exile situation. It wasn't like right after this time period that he's admitting to multi-accounting. But yeah, the accountability he really only apologized to D. Peters, Ike Haxton, and the second Nikki P, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Is like he literally calls out Ike Haxton, David Peters, and the less famous Nick Petrangelo, the less famous Nikki P, and says, I'm really sorry to those guys in particular. Like, you don't think anybody else was, like, playing straight up during the time? Like, what about me and DePaulo? Like, I played some on GG then, it's just, it's ridiculous. And I think to me, look, we're poker players. We're not the most upstanding citizens, but there's just the lack of accountability and the amount of, like, sort of disrespect to me, to the public viewers, to think that he could kind of just say that and people would really buy it out. And I did see some of the YouTube comments like, good on you for coming out, and like, it's just like, it's just so weak to cheat like that. And then he honestly seemed, the way he was talking about the multi-accounting, it's like he was talking about like using a HUD or something. You know?
Yeah, like it was a one-time minor mistake, like not in 64-man 25K fields, stealing tons of EV, inevitably card sharing when you end up at the same table.
But he didn't even say like I was trying to win money. He said other people were doing it. Well, other people were card sharing, like they forced me to do this.
I do understand that though a little bit. He didn't present it well, and I'm not trying to like defend him fully, but like I do think when you're that high level of an edge seeker, like we see with the Patriots or whatever, that like you're at the top of your game and you think that other people are doing something to you that you kind of feel like it's not wrong, like you can lose your sense of morals almost, right? With angles or this. Again, I'm not excusing it, but I get like if you're edge seeking at the highest levels and you think that other people are doing it, then I could see how you feel like, oh, I'm fucking up if I'm not doing it too.
Yeah.
Not an excuse.
Look, there was a lot of people, there's other people that have been named, and there's other people's that accounts were banned. But, like, if, that's what I said. I made a video about it on Twitter. Like, you're the only one who got caught, right? So, why are you the only one that got caught? Obviously, if this was going on a high degree, like, if you're the one who gets caught, you get confiscated, and a lot of people are doing it, it means you were probably doing it just as bad, if not worse, than anybody else.
Other people got caught, right? They got money taken away, but we don't know their names, maybe, I think?
We don't know their names, and, like, look, like, Bryn had this incident where Martin Zamani came out, was maybe a little bit too high to be a proper whistleblower. That's where the cocksucker Misakowski reference comes from. There are other people, and there's also different levels of this, right? Like, what we're talking about here is like multi-accounting in small field, 25K, 10K buy-ins, where there's only like 50, 60 players in the field. You have multiple accounts. You can then take over accounts. Who knows the extent of it? It was certainly great enough to have a lot of money confiscated. And also just like to the point where he didn't even want to speak about it. Like if you're, a lot of stuff to unpack with that. I believe that's Martin Jacobson, looking extremely jacked, still in this Millionaire Maker with a nice stack. But the other part about it is like, this kind of blew up when Foxen made that tweet. he references Foxen as having a temper tantrum in the video. Like what? Like the guy was just calling you out for like staring at Paul Fua's hole cards.
Yeah, or saying enough is enough. We all know you've been cheating for a while. Like, chill out, stop it. But and then I mean, there's so many. Yeah, there are a lot of things to unpack. Like if we even believe that it was only like, why would you just stop multiing? It's not a one-time mistake. Also, though, it's funny to me that to me, that's way worse than RTA or ghosting even. Though, like, real-time assistance and ghosting are more prevalent than, like, multi-accounting is like, I don't know how you do it. You get another computer. You have to, like, really, like, go jump through hoops to multi-account. Now, RTA, you could just sign up today for one of our sponsors, GTO Wizard, and be cheating in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so that's also like a lot to unpack in that video, but he says like, oh, I wasn't RTAing. Well, it's like, okay, like, you know, RTAing is not nearly as bad as having multiple accounts in the same 50, 60 person field that you control, that you can also take over, you know.
Well, so he's admitting to the worst thing, but I don't imagine that he wasn't also, if he has a sim database, which before these Odin and GTO Wizard were released, where you can just on demand basically look up any spot that they have saved. A lot of the good high-stakes pros were running sims as groups, right? Like having like cloud servers, and many of them were comparing and then just running scripts where you just run multiple spots at a certain situation and just put in all these boards automatically randomized. And there's actually subsets that like represent most of the, like there's like 64 boards that give you coverage for most situations in Hold'em basically. There's different size subsets. Like there's one thing of 64, there's one of like 114, and they cover generally most situations, right? And you take those those flops, put it in a script, and just let your solver run overnight. And I've done it and stuff, and just to, you know, study and have all these spots. And so before now, you could just sign up for GTO Wizard or Odin that already have done it. There's no way that he didn't do that, and I don't believe that. He says it was only pre-flop charts and Munker, which is banned also sort of now by like PokerStars. I left it open one time when playing PokerStars New Jersey, got an email from them. They were like, we know you probably didn't know, and I haven't done it since. But if he has a spot, he's probably looking it up. Whatever, dude.
Extremely confusing stuff from DePaulo there. I don't know if you guys followed, but I certainly didn't. But regardless, a lot of cheating done by Ali, a lot of multi-counting. But he spent the whole video sort of just saying how, you know, he didn't do this, he didn't do RTA, he didn't use Monk or whatever, he couldn't have done this. And then sort of saying how, you know, tough this has been on him and his family. You know, like the people who got cheated money, like that wasn't tough on them. And like, you know, that like he's not buying things with this money for his family. You know, like it's just, to me, what bothers me the most is just the lack of respect for the common public to release something like this. And in his defense, like, people can be stupid. I mean, DePaulo and I are both idiots, but I'd like to think that we have enough wherewithal to see through this type of crap. And to me, you know, when he comes on screen with the orange hoodie, with the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, with 17 GPI rewards and a giant trophy behind him, to me, that was sort of all I needed to know, was just like, this guy is not genuine. He wants to play again. And I will say this. I don't think Ali cheated live that much, and I don't think there's much evidence of him cheating live, and he was, for a while, considered the best high-stakes live tournament player, and his results back that up, so he kind of threw that away, you know what I mean? Like, he cheated online, like, he got greedy, you know? And that's, to me, is the silver lining, is that he's got to be dying inside, because he could be the one final table complaining about Martin Cabrill's, you know, fingernails, like, instead of Chance Kornuth, and he doesn't get to do that anymore. So it's not a total loss for the poker community. I am glad that he is sort of 86. I don't even know if he's 86 from here, but at least he's not willing to show face, and I hope that will be the case going forward.
But I don't know if he should be, honestly. Like, I think that, well, one, yeah, let's not take away from, and Matt Berkey tries to say that, like, if you RTA, you're going to learn while you're doing it. I don't think that's true at all. I think that Ali, don't take away from all the time off the cheat. I don't know what the term would be, off the digital felt, that he's put in infinity hours to studying, I'm sure. And I know he's, yeah, like you said, he's a live, great pro, not cheating live, aside from if he saw Paul's cards, whatever, who cares? It's like, but I don't know, do you really think he should be just banned from everywhere live play? I don't know if I feel like that, honestly, even though someone stole from us.
So, you know, we don't know that he's cheating live or not. If he is cheating live, you know, he's looking at hole cards, maybe, who knows, maybe signaling Schindler. I don't know. We got some action on the seniors rail. Producer John, if you could cut to that. One of the seniors, I think he's still alive, but on the rail, kind of relaxed there, watching Dan Highmiller go for this bracelet.
He needs his life alert button. It's a grueling 5-day tournament for these seniors. Many of them haven't had to use their brain power this much since figuring out how they're...
I do think the big cheaters should be banned live, especially just because live is sort of the... online is where a lot of, I feel like, people think the best players are playing and the toughest games are. But live is where you kind of prove yourself to the world and where you compete at the highest sort of, coverage levels, right? And I don't think that players like Ali, who have these type of track records, should be allowed to come to a place like the World Series, a place like Triton, and get to play in these events and get to showcase sort of themselves to the world once they've been caught doing all these things.
Yeah, but I guess that's a different thing because they're not playing these live events to get glory, right? That's just incidental in a way, that just happens. So unless, the punishment can be that people still to this day, Justin Bonomo, anytime something's going on with him, they're like, oh yeah, didn't you multi-account? And the public shame, I think, would mitigate any glory that they may get from live wins. But I still feel like unless you've been proven to cheat live.
Let's go to the rail. We got this.
Yeah.
Sorry, waking up this guy.
The guy being woken up just...
Brent Hanks is waking up this guy, maybe for an interview, just maybe checking a little health check. You don't think these guys are going for the glory? I do think that is part of why Ali is coming out now, is I think he misses that glory, playing under the bright lights, playing for lots of money, in front of 20, 30,000 live viewers. I do think there's a glory element to it.
Well, we can take that away as a community. I don't know if operators should take away his right to, enter them, right? We as a community can just be fuck this guy, have a villain. But, I don't know, man. It's tough because it's you should be punished somehow, but
well,
maybe in the arena where you did it.
Does this have anything to do with you having a connection to Ali with one of your horses, one of his horses being at your house? Are you one of Ali's horses?
I had access to the Dream Machine, and I am confirming it makes you no better at poker. I'm in the middle of all of this.
You heard it first. DePaulo throwing himself into the Ali Imsirovic cheating ring. We're going to go out to Natalie in the field, though.
Guys, I'm currently on the rail, the final table, the 1K Seniors event. We actually saw someone that was out cold in the seats. We were slightly concerned initially, and then we actually came over and he woke up. This is Jeff. Jeff, you told us that you're exhausted. You've been here how long?
About 30-some hours all night. I've been here all day. The guys won't let me go home.
So you're supporting a friend, you said?
Danny Highmiller.
Okay, and you guys have been friends for how many years?
30.
So you're out here, 30-plus year friendship, and you're grinding so hard watching him that you're just sleeping on the seats on the rail.
He's going to win. He's going to win well. He won in 2015, this event. They're going to change the name to Danny Highmiller Tournament after he wins this one.
Calling your shot, I respect it. Sounds like a great friend. Where are you from originally, Jeff?
Chicago, Illinois.
So you flew here and you're just coming...
Drove.
You drove here?
For 30 years. I go back and forth.
Wow. So did you enter this event too?
Not this one, no. I played a couple other ones. I'm burnt out right now. I'm just chilling.
Totally understand. We're over halfway through the World Series, and if you have a friend that will drive here from Chicago to watch your final table, he deserves to nap on the rail. Guys.
Oh, my God. Dan Highmiller with the similar pawn when I would make Joey the Mush stand in a certain spot for the rest of the night at my house when I won an all-in, or Rob Kuhn when he was winning in slots the other night said, I'll literally pay you to stay there. Dan Highmiller have a good luck charm, barely clinging on to life. The GOAT Dan still has some superstitious beliefs, and he has a great website, danhighmiller.com. This was brought to my attention today. All types of things. At the top, it says, website will be greatly expand by 2008 or whenever I win something big. I think he's won numerous big things since then, so bit of a dishonest promise there. You see, this is clip art from your middle school, presentations. Horrible. Poker tip of the day. It is important to stereotype your opponents in poker. Are they rich? Do they need the money? Do they have limited time to win? Are they a woman? Less likely to bluff. Being politically correct in poker doesn't work. But I'm not just here to shit on Dan Highmiller. I'm going to read, why do I deserve a website? 1, I have the home phone number for Annie Duke. That's funny. 2, if I cash at the World Series 20 more times, I'll go from 35th to 5th in all-time cash outs at the World Series of Poker tournaments. This guy is a legend. As he wrote this, he only had 1.7 million in tournament earnings, now over 6. He says upcoming Sea Monkey Super Sale. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, legend of the game, Dan Heimiller.
An ad for cigarettes for 5-year-olds cropped out of this shot here. Literally, he has Joe Camel, and the link says, smooth, poker for 5-year-olds, with a picture of Joe Camel smoking a cigarette.
Look at this. We've got the legend.
Marley's husband.
Yeah, Marley's husband, better known as Benjamin Spragg.
Oh, is that his name?
Spraggy, under 200 players left. This is the guy that got me a free 25K seat at the PCA, announced it to me on air. Great video. Great player. Had a boatload of chips. Looks like he's down to dust, but still grinding in this Millionaire Maker. You see kind of rocking the Chris Brewer mushroom cut. Who do you think has rocked it better between him and Spraggy?
Oh, definitely Spraggy, I think, because Spraggy's great. Spraggy's a streamer. He's one of the top out there. He's awesome. But there you see him making a disciplined fold so he can stay alive to win.
Spraggy or Kmart? Who you streaming? Who you watching?
You know, it depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm in a sarcastic Ms. Reggie mood, obviously Spraggy. Kmart, positive energy, Canadian. You know, Spraggy, sarcastic, dry, living in the dreariness of the UK. Says cunt a lot, I assume.
Yeah, the UK is a very dreary place.
They don't talk with emotions there. You know, my wife is half Irish, and the Irish people, the British people, they just don't do emotions. They go to the pub.
Yeah, I stayed there for post-Black Friday travel. Stayed in the flat. There was no sun. It was rainy. I went to the pub, got fish and chips and a beer, and immediately had to poop. And that was pretty much my whole trip. But shout out to Spragg making a run. A lot of big players in this Millionaire Maker. I think we will see a pretty stacked final table when it's all said and done. You see here kind of an epic battle between one of my poker heroes, Tony Gregg, and one of Ryan's poker heroes, Martin Jacobsen. Just completely ripped and shredded. The guy used to be like a chef or something. May still be a chef. Tony Gregg, insane hand here. We don't know the hole cards. We don't know the board.
But it's insane.
It's insane.
Unbelievable.
We cannot tell you guys how nuts this hand is. You see the board there, a couple of low cards. Let's just try to commentate this without having any information. Gregg holding the hoodie over the face. Incredible. Tony Gregg, I remember when he won, I believe it was one of the one drops or something. But I have an amazing Tony Gregg story. There was one summer, it was actually the summer I believe that I won my bracelet. Tony Gregg was staying in a house, and he was doing a fair amount of edibles that summer.
Edibles the secret sauce to many poker players out there. As we see, he takes it down, massive pot, maybe could determine the winner of this tournament. Here we see Mustafa Kanit against a couple of Euros. I mean, he a Euro himself.
No, that is not a Euro. Sorry, that is Joey Wiseman. Not to be confused with a Euro just because he tanks and plays well. That is Joey Wiseman, American pro. That may be a Euro in the green hoodie.
I believe
Wiseman's not a Euro.
It's an Israeli last name, and Israel's in Europe. But you hear the seniors event popping off behind us. Coverage of that coming up at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, tough to keep up with all this action here.
The
at
bullfrog
the Horseshoe,
there
guys.
in the green hoodie. Lots of drama going on.
Oh, we might have a bust-out interview for you guys. Make sure to double smash that like button.
People will be very miserable today after they bust out, so don't go anywhere, because we also got to talk about some other stuff with people overselling, but by mistake.
We've still got a packed show for
you
guys.
Book review, perhaps.
Book club on the way. More interviews, more drama, more excitement, more action. Mustafa Kanit.
I just want to set up how miserable people will be if we get some bust-out interviews, especially if it's a senior.
Yeah, if you get Mintzy interviewing you after a 3-day bender at Red Rocks, busting the Millionaire Maker is not going to be the best experience for you, but we're going to try to make that happen for someone.
Day 3, under 200 people left. They're playing for $1 million plus. I think the top 2 places get $1 million. Crazy turnout, giant field, hour levels. It's a lot of fun. There's only a couple of big field, giant hold'em shit shows left. You know, the time is running out. The whole series, I've been saying, it's early, and now it's like, oh my god, it's almost done.
This is what happens. You think you got a shot, you don't. But does look like DePaulo got a shot at some vitamin D. Is it? What is? You got a little sun on the nose there. What happened there, or is that just oil malfunctioning?
Maybe a combo of the two. My wife and I went to Cathedral Rock Trail at Mount Charleston yesterday, and maybe I got a little sun, you know, trying to produce child. She's here, re-entering the whole bit. We're following this guy to the bust-out line.
Yeah, we got someone going to the bust-out line here. We're going to see if we can get Mintzy with him. Meanwhile, DePaulo still playing that unlimited re-entry for childbirth. That is the other half of Lexi Gavin, Mr. Bob Mather, with the bust-out interview. Let's go out to Mintzy, live on the rail.
Jeez.
All right, we're out in the field here. Bust-out line, always a sad thing, joined by Bob Mather. Made day 3 of the Millionaire Maker, just got knocked out. What happened, Bob?
I'm a loser. What do you think happened?
Well, I personally thought, you know, you mentioned you're famous for being an Instagram husband. You were 189 players away from making $1 million and proving you were much more than just an Instagram husband today. Sorry to see you fall short.
Yeah, I'm a loser. Thanks, Mintzy.
You got a hell of a lot farther than I did, man. You got through to almost 10,000 people. You got to be a little proud of that effort, right?
Did you win?
I didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, I'm a loser. I get it. All right? Do you want to put it on camera? Why don't you call my wife? Maybe she could come here with a camera. She'll probably be here any minute now and just say like, oh, hi, everybody in the world. You lost.
Well, at least you're going to have free time to get back to the Instagram photo game.
Yeah, thanks.
You joined.
Hey, one thing. Great job, WSOP. Huh?
Yeah.
Like 10,000 people, everybody running around, everybody getting water, everybody using the bathroom. Some people even use other bathrooms, you know? I mean, it's an open society, I guess, here. But seriously, great job, Jack Effel, Ty Stewart, everybody. It's amazing, an amazing event.
Seems like a fairly happy bust out. Back to Will and Ryan and back to the Instagram account for Bob.
Thanks, Bob. That was awesome.
Bob is a trophy husband. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Playing into the bit there, but yeah, no, good attitude for busting to still be sarcastically blah, blah, blah. You know, Payne, 3 days of hour levels. Then you look at the schedule and try to start all over, have winners tilt that you got so deep.
Yeah, speaking of busting, we got to talk about DePaulo's tag team partner here. Got himself into a little pickle the other day. Bet on Drew. Basically, I mean, you want to break the situation down, DePaulo?
Yeah, so Drew is a silly boy. Basically, he tweeted out, the order of the way the news was released is kind of what made everybody react so silly. So he made 2 day 2s, but he had sold pieces to both, right? And he was like, oops, I made both day 2s. Interesting spot tomorrow. He was just sharing it with people like, oh, I kind of screwed myself, haha. And then people were like, oh, you sold action, you're a piece of shit. It's clear what you do here. He said his plan was to go to MGM. It was a whole mess he got himself into. But here's the thing. It was very innocent. He overpaid back everybody who had pieces. What happened was he was, after he fucked me in the tag team in a Pikachu outfit, he started drinking a little bit, right? So the TLDR is he had a couple drinks. Some guys like Boski and Justin Fattrain were like, yo, we're going to MGM to play this mystery bounty. He was like, oh, all right, and then just went over there. While he's playing, realizes that day 2 is the same day 2 as the Millionaire Maker. Both events, he had sold pieces to in advance. Now, this sounds funny because he didn't sell in direct advance to the $500 MGM. I know this may get too technical. I just want to defend him thoroughly because he really just made a mistake, overpaid it back, more than made it right. No one should be giving him shit. Just Ms. Regs love to talk about stuff. So what happened was he has a deal with some people to auto book events under a certain amount, and obviously a $500 MGM meets that criteria, right? Where he only has 20% of himself, 80% sold out auto book. For the Punter's Pad bullets, which the mystery bounty was part of, he sold a package to all of them on State Kings, I believe, and sold some 13%. So both were in advance. It's not as if he was like fucking up that day texting people on the way. Like he just like had a situation, had a couple drinks, realized he made a day 2, then plays the Millionaire Maker as he has to for the Punter's Pad, for the Triton package and stuff. Makes day 2 of that also, and then so he's just left in a spot where he's like, all right, what do I got to do to make the most money for the most people? Because they're kind of one and the same, right? If you have backers, What makes you the most money is making them the most money. So he tried to navigate it as best he could. Everybody was like, you're an idiot, just play the Millionaire Maker. Either way, he gave both people refunds, offered them, and gave them pieces of the other. Gave away the parts of himself that he had remaining in those events. Cashed in both, I believe, and more than made it right. So stop giving him shit. He was a little stressed out.
Just the cliff notes on that. Basically, made the mistake of playing 2 tournaments that had the same day too. And to be honest, he did the right thing, which is he went to the one where he had sold vastly more action.
Right.
So people were wondering, why did he choose that over the Millionaire Maker, such a bigger tournament, so much more equity, EV wise. It was because
he's doing the right thing.
he had sold a lot of action. He felt committed to his investors. A mistake by Drew, but this is not, I don't believe it to be nefarious, and I know
Never.
people are piling on. It was a terrible mistake, a stupid one. I don't think he'll make it again.
Not even terrible, because he paid them back. It's shut the fuck up. It's an innocent mistake.
Well, it's
the guy's
mostly
been playing every day, making content, recording punter's pad. He's a good, actually truly good person who did a stupid thing. But once you get paid back, eat a dick. He sold you pieces to be nice. You know what I mean? He's not trying to make money off selling pieces.
Let's not pull an alley here and get too mad at the investors. The truth is, Drew has a completely great track record. A lot of people, including Faraz, have come out and said, I've met Drew a few times. I don't think he has any, this is the first time. He's been in poker a long time. I don't think he has any sort of negative kind of,
No.
like history as a player. Should not be judged for this. It was a one-time mistake. He will learn from it. And like you said, he has paid back. He has refunded his backers more than he needed to.
Yeah.
So that's that. We are here.
Say no Chino Ream situation.
Well, Chino also, I believe, has paid out his backers. A lot of people paying out their backers.
Yeah, Chino Ream is good, cleared with the poker community, as is Drew. Now I'm just hurting his case that Drew is nothing
DePaulo,
close to it.
Quit while you're ahead.
No, but Drew is the man. I just want to make clear, defend him. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, let's go out to the field. We got
articulate?
David Baker, the more famous David Baker.
Who are all these people?
David ODB Baker, legend. And that is, I'm not sure.
Another legend, possible Euro.
Not a legend. That is not a legend. DePaulo, the chat asking why half of your face is burned.
Maybe sometimes you trying to go for a special look at the expense. I don't know what the hell I'm just saying. I don't know. Why is half of my face burned? Why? Because I'm in Vegas, bro. I'm trying to be in the sun hang out with my wife for a day of not playing, even though I played online last night. Didn't win.
Chris Summerman in chat says DePaulo gets mentioned in Ali, and now his tag team partner gets into this.
I know, I'm in the middle
Jaffe,
of...
we may need an investigation into DePaulo's bracelet. I am going to go back and talk to those Whole Foods workers, see what was going on, talk to the custodial people. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, guys. Did DePaulo, RTA, multi-account, use Munker, share all cards, and have Ali take over at that final table, even though it was all live streamed?
Yeah, my girlfriend's laptop, disconnecting from the Wi-Fi every hour. It was impressive that I was able to somehow cheat, somehow not be backed by Ali, but get his time to ghost me for no financial gain whatsoever. It's amazing, but it is funny that I'm at the center of the two biggest poker drama stories.
DePaulo always has a nose for controversy. Let's show you guys another winner. Speaking of tag teams, this was the team that closed it out. Big win for these guys, long-time grinders. You see the double bracelets. I don't know their names, but they won about $170,000 combined after they split it up, after taxes. Entry to the main event should suffice. But big stuff here at High Noon.
Yeah.
Cutting-edge stuff. And speaking of cutting-edge stuff, let's give you guys what you all want, a Stealth Monk update. Justin Schwartz looks like he got arrested. We're not sure on the details, but the big thing is to know he's still alive, he's still breathing. He may be in custody as we speak, but that is Justin Schwartz, the legend. Took a horrendous set-over-set cooler deep in the main event that Joe McKeon won. Really a career-changing one.
Looks like he has no shoes in that photo. Maybe this is what he's being arrested for. I can't believe he's still alive. Toothless, maybe a couple teeth left. Very dislikable in that. He, called clock on my man's Buderoni deep in that event. You remember?
Buderoni?
The Italian. I just root for all the Italians because I got to have a little bit of ethnic.
DePaulo, the only person that remembers Filippo Candio.
Yeah. Well, his celebration when he sucked out on Joseph Chung when he tried to punt was amazing. Running around the room just going, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Joseph Chung with just an incredible main event punt. has really sort of resurrected his career well. Another incredibly dusty reg, but nice guy.
Yeah, he is a withered reg. Like, he's
Yeah.
not dusty, but he is withered, and I have no problem saying that to him because obviously I look up to him. Here we see a pink hat man, multi-accounting the live event.
Well, let's not throw out these accusations. We don't know if that's RTA. We don't know if that is Jason Mercier. We don't know what's going on here.
Jason Mercier, one of the biggest fall-offs from good-looking to a mess, right? I was on that path for a bit, but I got a haircut earlier in the summer after the punter's pad intervened. Who else has had severe fall-offs in their looks?
Yeah, thank God DePaulo was on a bad track. Luckily, got a nice haircut. Now half of his face is sunburned, but he's looking back. Speaking of fall-offs, we had a crazy situation.
It's more like a come-up.
Yeah, a man who is on trial for attempting to murder his wife wins a bracelet in an online event.
We've all been there, and a lot of us can relate to the situation he's in. And, you just got to keep firing these events, and hopefully it'll help out with the court fees. He won a bracelet online in Michigan. Very fitting. This story is going on in Michigan. I don't know many more details, but I know that,
You've heard it first from Ryan DePaulo. We've all been there. I actually have not, but DePaulo did win an online bracelet. You see why the online bracelets are not exactly as prestigious as the live ones.
they come at the right time, when you're facing charges for conspiring to murder your family and things of this nature. Maybe starting early levels of a Ponzi scheme, you get bailed out with a bracelet. Tell the lawyers, just settle.
I do have an update from our producers. Filippo Candio has started a gelato shop in Florence. He's not playing anymore. He's going to try to make it out for the main event. Ryan DePaulo's favorite poker player, loves the Italians, Budarello or whoever. I don't even think that's a real person.
Budaroni.
Sounds like a type of pizza.
I root for Peroni, Margarita, Petrozelli, all of them. I do have a book review, too, if we can get to it at some point. It's up to you if you
want
what,
guys? Enough of this nonsense. Let's educate you guys. Let's do what you came for. Get into the book club. Show the intro, John.
All right. Today's book, Online Poker for Winners. And you see there's a capital L in the middle of online. I don't know. This is written in 2005 by D.R. Scherer. They call him the Sheriff. And he was, by one metric, ranked the top 3 in no limit hold'em tournaments under $2,500. So this is a very short book. I was able to read most of it. It's actually not all useless. Some of it is really dumb, like saying 1 out of every 25 men is colorblind. So when you're playing online,
wait, that's a common thing? The colorblind is like a common strategy in these older books.
Well, I was teasing this book when I mentioned it, but yeah, I think that people very aware of their site limitations back in the day. He said, change your decks to make. Basically, he's saying make sure that you can tell when the other people have folded, so you don't go up and over and then lose your whole stack. However, he does kind of talk about like bots. He kind of tells you a website at one point. He goes, there are programs which you can buy which will play limit hold'em and supposedly at a profit for you. One costs $2.99 and another $1.99. I believe the latter may be something you can run and, quote, advise you on each play as you operate the game. So he's advocating somewhat for early RTA in 2004, 2005. It's pretty interesting stuff. He tells you the links to the sites, Pokebot, Pokebot.com, Pokebot 2005, and thenextgames.com. We have Ronnie Bard on standby, so I'll continue the book review in a moment because there's more good stuff in here, William.
All joined by Ronnie Bardaw, who final table, the tag team event, and even more than that, following up with a story. One of the first days of High Noon, we followed a story where Ronnie caught a guy lying about a hand history online, and then you met your nemesis again at the final table. Tell us more.
It's pretty wild, yeah. Out of nowhere, we see this guy. He's got his partner, and they're in the tag team event. We're at the final table, and I was in there, and he was in there, and I was going to expose him and try to put him on tilt, but my partner is a better person than I am, Justin Peachy. He said, just let the chips and the playing do the talking and not come at him and not expose him again, because we already exposed him in the beginning of the series. So yeah, our plan was if we got heads up with them, if he was in, I was going to play, and if his partner was in, my partner Justin was going to play. But unfortunately, we ran eights into ace king and ace queen. We would have been the chip leader of the tournament when we're down to 9, and we faded the flop, and then it came turn ace, river, queen. But anyways, going back to that knucklehead, yeah. I mean, he knows he lied deep down inside. He lied about lying to you in an interview. He lied about lying to me when I called him out in front of the whole tournament. But that was a crazy day. I was really on one that day. I was on like 5 hours of sleep. Today I feel great, But yeah, I'm sure he learned his lesson. Did I spit on you? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sure he learned his lesson. I'm sure deep down, he knows what he did, and I think moving forward, he's not going to lie to his investors again because I had to.
Yeah, no, on the investigative reporting, we certainly called him out and called him. I don't understand, Pesci. Why be the better man there? I don't get it.
Pesci's he's not a confrontational guy. I think if I was to start just coming into him at the final table, I thought it was good. I wanted to tell them. But Peachy just said, look, man, then Peachy would feel a little like it's anxious himself, and I just didn't want to do that to my partner. Me, if it was fucking just me at the final table with this kid, I would have just went off on him and just started, I would have just went in. Are you still lying? What's going on? Like, you still fronting about that hand you lied about? But I just left it alone because I took that. My boy told me to take the high road. I wouldn't have, though, if it wasn't for Justin.
Look at the maturation of Ronnie Bardall. What else you playing? How's it going?
I'm in this 6-max limited hold'em. Right. There's like 110 left. Whole bunch of clicking animals, clicking it back. But I'm going to click better than them today, hopefully, and make it to day 3.
All right, good luck at the 3K 6-max day 2 with Ron. All good. And congrats on final table in the tag team. And
final tables and 2 9s. 2 dusty 9s. We ain't taking 9th again, just like my man Newhouse said.
I sense some real motivation and a good energy from Ronnie today. Good luck.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Nice seeing you.
Thanks. Back to Will and Ron.
So yeah, if you watch us from the beginning, you know these storylines that we follow through. Ronnie Barda famously becoming hobbled, maybe everyday healing, mad about a guy who lied about a hand history. I don't know if you have a better recap.
I don't even Ronnie Barda, the center of controversy. All I remember was him saying that he would have been coming into someone at the final table. But yeah, 2 9s. Remember Mark Newhouse epically final table to 9th. Final table domain got 9th and said, I'll tell you what I'm not doing next year. I'm not coming 9th again. Came in 9th again the following year in the main event.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. We were getting word Mattisau was in the house somewhere, wheeling around, trying to wake up with his Adderalls, doing the vlog. They're trying to track him down. But Ronnie Barda, what you just watched was, you have to have been there basically. But he's mad at some dude who lied about a hand history, made a really big deal about it. There you see probably one of many options of Mike Mattisau's wheels. Oh, I think that is because it has the vlogging stick on there. Mike Mattisau's vlog, no hand graphics, no hand histories really, just somebody wheeling around talking about how they're got to wake up a little bit and how they're the best 08 player in the world. There you see him standing on his feet, I believe, which he is capable of doing. The first day I met Mike in person was 2 years ago or last year at a party, and I was talking with to be like Landon Tyson, Chance, Corneth, and then Mike Mattisau bowls through the room to just cut through Landon and I and just go up to Chance and go, I had pocket kings near the bubble, and just proceeds to tell a bad beat story, interrupting. I think we have Natalie with him if she can wrangle him. Yeah, I think they're ready with some.
Yeah, he's been wrangled. Let's go out to the mouth. You got the scooter in action in the field.
Here with the man that needs no introduction. Mike, how are you doing today?
Good. I got to sleep early. I was so exhausted. I didn't think I'd make it through the night. I set my alarm for 12 thinking I was going to sleep like 11 hours, but I slept like 7. I woke up. I called this place that I've been working with, like they come over, they give you like IVs to make you hydrated and put items in your body. So I got that done this morning, got food this morning, and I'm in for a special day.
Special day. I like that a lot. How's this summer been treating you so far?
Started off really bad the first 2 weeks. I think I've cashed 4 of the last 5. Finished 12th in one, 177th in the seniors, and then jumped in this. And I mean, honestly, if I was to win this, it would be probably the most shocking of all, because I really was dejected with a tiny stack going into yesterday, and I was tired, and I just wanted to go home. I'd been staying here for 6 days, and I was just beat. You know, my brain was just mush, and I ran real good, and now I feel great today.
That's great. It's going to be a special day, like you said. They're corralling players now, so we're going to let you go. But thanks for the time, guys.
Mike Matusow, living up to my trailer. His vlog is much of the same. Much like my dad's review of Angels in America, talking about only his physical state. Mike Matusow, not talking poker strategy, talking about his physical symptoms, his liquid IV for hangovers.
Yeah,
He's waking up.
Staying energized, very tired, Mike Matusow.
Claiming he feels great after giving the least energized interview of all time.
Check out Check Raising the Devil, guys. Great book about Mike Matusow's story. Old school legend of the game. Speaking of legend of the game, Ryan Bode.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of books, we still got to finish this book review.
Yeah, sorry, guys. DePaulo, why don't you wrap that up for us?
So this book doesn't have all bad stuff. It is kind of before his time that he recommends RTA. Maybe this is where Ali got the ideas from. Yeah, you can cut to that. You can show these other animals out there while I talk. Potential Euros with masks and a cowboy hat protecting their face. But so... poker books tend to get outdated pretty quick, but this isn't all bad. Today's bots can beat the fish only. Real players are in no danger. That's still somewhat true. Bots can't win, but a bot that helps advise you what to do can. What the hell else did he say to do? Oh, he talked about usernames. He actually talks about stalling as a strategy before anybody, I think, was kind of aware of it. Honestly, like he talks about how people don't know to stall when you're nearing the money. And this is like a thing I think many players still don't do, and how much EV is gained from that. So that was actually interesting. He also recommends anytime anybody asks you what you had, say pocket jacks, just always, which is a pretty cool tip I may implement. And then he says a lot of how to analyze the chat box in online poker rooms. But because we are just so sensitive, seems most online sites don't have chat. You just can only taunt and emojis at this point. So a lot of this is kind of dated. There is some username reads which still apply. Like if they have a name like Big Dick 69, they want you to notice them.
Who was the player behind that username?
Well, it was Phil Ivey, I believe. Yeah. Many of you may have heard of.
Wow, you really read this whole book, huh?
I read way more of it than I would think of. And maybe none of what I'm saying is interesting. I'm just interested in how people thought about the game back in the day. It's just so different. He talks about if somebody has a name, and this is still true today, of like just typed in gibberish letters, they're somebody smart with computers and want to be anonymous, they're good. Oh, block bets, too. There's a whole thing about block bets in here where he says many players online, and they're too afraid to do this live, will bet really small on the river, like $15 into 200. This is a GTO thing, it turns out. He didn't realize, but he was describing how this is often them just trying to get to showdown, which is exactly what they usually are, and that you can go over the top of them sometimes and get them off it or call if you have a draw. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. There's many typos. I don't recommend it, but I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. It's available at the Gamblers General Store in Las Vegas. It is the book that got Fedor Holst started. Got his career jump started online poker for winners. Great book review there. Shout out to Ian P. Pfister in chat. Says the favorite part of the show is when they cut to the interviews and I blow my eardrums out. I would have to agree with that. Producer John.
We are working on that.
Still, Producer John is blaming Mintzy. We're going to blame technical difficulties. We see Maria Ho unbagging. I believe that's J.J. Liu making another appearance. Legends.
Ooh,
just
looking like a 90s
gate.
bully outfit, like a kid smoking a cigarette outside of the back hallway.
Yeah, I would love to see J.J. Liu and Alex Foxen corner Ali in a room somewhere and just go to work.
Oh, Nick Schulman. I believe this is day 2 of the 25K PLO. Probably. That's my guess. That's my guess since I literally saw. Is that Nick Schulman, though? I just can't tell, but I saw him walking in, and he said that's what he was still in, so... Great journalism here out of me. Here you see another lady, another Asian lady. I mean, I'm not trying to get politically fucked here, but 3 Asian ladies at a table, and that's crazy.
Yeah. No comment there. No comment necessary.
Weren't you going to play the 25K PLO? Yeah, what would John Fox say about this table? Producer John.
What would John Fox, the former Denver Broncos
he would say,
coach,
choose that table.
Yeah.
Ronnie Barta
Ronnie Barta praying to Jesus, trying to get it on camera, but hopefully we're not going to get that up there.
Yeah, no, you could show Ronnie Barta side by side, being a showman, trying to pray with his nit stack. Ronnie Barta is a nit. Do not pay him off if you're in hands with him. Although he is why I am sunburned, because he recommended to me Mount Charleston to go with my wife when she was here, and on his recommendation we went there and took a little hikesy. Thank you very much. As we see crazy action going on here in whatever the hell game they're playing. The horse, the PLO, the something, the super seniors. The women's event is coming up. We got men's going into women's bathrooms that are not transgender. There's all types of shit going on here. There's dailies. There's day 2 of the Salute to Warriors. Will hates America, so he did not play it. He doesn't support the troops. I was just unable to, but I supported them by buying a piece of the mush who played and got fucked.
Yeah, that's not true. I support the troops. I just couldn't find the money to play it. But I am looking for a stake in 25K PLO. Late reg ends in about an hour. If anybody wants to come to the Horseshoe and give me some type of free roll.
Or send a 50K super chat, of which we may see half.
Yes. Feel free to send a 50K super chat. Give DePaulo 25K for his good work here. So far, the only super chat I saw was $2, so we didn't feel incentivized to shout it out. But yeah, here we have Ronnie Barta playing a hand in the limited hold'em tournament.
Oh, that's what this is?
Yeah, this is the limited hold'em.
I'm gonna play the deuce to 7 no limit single draw today. I'm really excited. $1,500 deuce to 7 no limit, one draw. It's a really fun tournament. Why don't you consider playing that?
The no limit deuce to 7 one draw.
Have you ever played it?
No, never.
It's so much fun, man. Apparently the table we're looking at is so windy that they're weighing down the cards. I don't know where the wind's coming from. There are 4 walls and a ceiling around us. Maybe the air conditioning bumping high. Ronnie Barta was not praying to the heavens. He was pointing to the air conditioning saying, fuck you. And this is why they're...
I used to know this woman that was so scared of getting sick that she would just she would wash her feet after going to a pizza place with shoes on. And you know what would happen?
She gets sick?
She gets sick all the time, more than anybody. And that is the Ronnie Barta effect. The guy complains nonstop about bad beats, about playing 10-handed, about structures. And look, he gets a table where the AC is coming down, beating down his face. He comes to the World Series on crutches, 2 9s in dusty events. You reap what you sow out here, guys. That's how it works. Karma, time is a flat circle, to quote.
Oh, they're demonstrating the wind, I think, by dropping a card. It won't go straight down, as we see the scientific experiments. But this is limit hold'em. This is what they deserve. You know, the rest of us have to be cooled off. We have to cool off the seniors. If one table has to pay the price in a room full of empty tables, they'll be fine. You don't really need to think much in limit hold'em. You can only lose so much each time.
Wingate.
This is maybe they're doing it intentionally to mess with some people. What are you playing next, for real? Are you really trying to get 25K in the next hour?
No,
I can get you at least $300.
That's unlikely. DePaulo, thank you for 10% of the buy. No, 1% of the buy-in. I probably play the main event or maybe the 300 at the Orleans if there's any days left.
Neither of Will or myself very good at planning ahead what events we're going to play on any given week, it seems. Kind of just going with what happens. But you can check, Will, have you had any more battles with Greta Thunberg or things of this nature on your Twitter?
It's been a quiet few days, and I did not have a battle with Greta Thunberg. I was defending her against hedge fund billionaire Chamath.
Are you and her cool now after all that?
Yeah, me and Greta Thunberg had a nice lunch at the Henry over at Cosmopolitan the other day. Just talk climate change.
I think they have plastic straws there still, though, dude. I don't know what you do in taking her there.
Yeah, this is not my coffee, actually. Yeah, just another high noon here at the World Series. According to our producers, we are going to run the rest of the series, if that's even humanly possible. DePaulo and I have an unlimited supply of face oil that will be applied. We also do look a little sunburned, especially DePaulo. Looks like he got half of his face kind of lit up by the big round sun out there. But yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, wait. What am I doing? Thank you, chat. Thank you, Chris. We need an update on the drama that this show created. This is what we need to focus on to get engaging viewers, to have you maybe get rich or broke. I want to know Adam Hendricks versus Will Jaffe. the PLO instigator, you started by calling him a dusty, withered rag. I made sure he heard it when I saw him in the hallway that day. He then went on Twitter, blasted off about you being like ducking hard games. You said, all right, we'll play heads up, pussy. And he said, all right, how much are you going to min buy? You negotiated terms, called him out for having frosted tips. A lot of shots fired. When is this match happening? You're ducking another difficult spot yet again. Adam, I hear you actually now. This is unbelievable.
We are going to be bringing in Nikki Limo tomorrow to co-host the show, starting tomorrow and permanently. DePaulo will be back in the punter's pad doing bodily challenges with John Party and Rob Kuhn, sweating. Mintzy's dropping the mic over here. He's done. He's had a long day. Mintzy may also be quitting the show. I believe we still will have Natalie. Mintzy is gonna go take some rest after his hard work today and a big weekend at Red Rocks. We're losing Natalie. Okay, no, Natalie says she's here for the long run, guys. So me and Natalie are here. DePaulo's going to be back on the punter's pad doing videos of himself doing kickflips into a pool. No updates on the challenge with Iceman. Mr. Frosty has not melted yet. I believe he's in the 25K PLO. We are going to show you guys this clip, full clip of the proposal that Sweet Lou gave his beautiful lady on the rail after winning the $10,000.
Why do I let you with these diversions?
Yeah, I know. I know you love me more.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're gonna celebrate right now. I don't got a ring.
No, hombre!
I don't got a
Yeah, for a little bit.
No!
A little bit longer.
Sweet Lou Garza.
Kind of put her in a spot there where she can't say no. You know, kind of rude not having a ring, but she's gonna say yes. She was calling for a red card when he needed a spade on the final hand on the rail. But good for him. Do you want action with him if you're gonna duck Adam Hendricks? Do you want me to instigate a fight for you in Sweet
please,
Lou?
DePaulo, please do
Alfred
not.
Morris, Mercury Morris. Like, who do you want to play heads up? Why are you ducking these challenges? Was Adams Hendricks right?
Heads up for Sweet Lou's girl. I'll challenge him to that.
Yo.
Winner gets his lady. How about that? Heads up. Forget the bracelet.
Like an 80s movie plot with a drag race to a cliff. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start playing poker for people's gals.
Yeah, let's start playing poker for real value possessions, not monetary ones. Yeah, we may want to cut the show a little early, but yeah, we're going to be here for the rest of the series, guys. A lot of stuff going on.
Why are you rapping? I want answers. You said yes, you would play him heads up, name the stakes, and now you're ducking him. The Iceman wants answers. The people want answers.
Are you working with the Iceman?
He may have offered me a percentage. This is not your business. Headphones are being thrown.
Headphones are being thrown.
The rest of the crew is quitting because we're going along.
Quitting. We're rapping. DePaulo is trying to stir up drama as usual for clicks and likes, but we don't do that.
You're all shy
here.
now. You're not shy when you're telling him he looks like
we don't
frosted
do that
tip
here.
Backstreet Boy.
A rough weekend for DePaulo. Tired of all my burns. Tired of all his own sunburns. Will not be on the show going forward. So it's been a good run. Thank you guys for DePaulo's last show. We're going to send it out with the bang to the dealers, the producers, people selling potentially too much action, and the floor people and the dealers, if I didn't mention them already, and all of the seniors that are still alive, literally, not just in the event. Thank you guys. This is High Noon.
Seniors coming up at YouTube at 2 o'clock.
2 p.m. I'll be watching. Cut it, John.
We're in the hallway in Paris at the World Series of Poker, and we have got some serious merchandise for you to check out. Let's take a look around and see what we can find, because I know there's a lot of items I'm looking forward to wearing this summer. It's always cold in these rooms. Look, it may be hot outside in the desert in the summertime, but you're still going to need a hoodie when you're at the World Series of Poker, and we've got a bunch of good ones for you to check out. We got PokerGO Tour, pull over. We're joined by Brian.
Hello.
Well, I'm about to go pick out some merch because luckily for me, I think PokerGo felt sorry for me and hired me this summer. So I need to get some PokerGo swag to rep out here at the World Series. Brian, what should I get?
I would say first I would spin a wheel because then you can get a 10% discount.
10% discount? You're telling me I don't get free merch? Look, I thought it was assumed I got free merch coming out here. I'm really kind of going through a tough stretch here. You sure you don't have anything free for me?
100% do not have anything. I have sticker. Want a sticker? Let's go to the wheel.
Okay, let's go to the wheel. It seems like PokerGo's doing pretty well. I didn't know times were that tight.
Yeah, no, times are definitely tight. Definitely tight.
Well, maybe let's spin the wheel. The wheel, I've been told the wheel is just. So let's see what we get. Let's see if I can run a little better with this wheel that I've been running out here so far.
Look at this. An annual PokerGo subscription. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so honored. And while you're at it on the annual PokerGo subscription, if you want one of those, sign up with code Mintzy, $20 off. I mean, you have to get PokerGo. We're the best World Series of Poker content all summer long. Check us out. Live streams of featured tables, and we've got a high noon show, the only daily show from the World Series of Poker.